Hey everyone, we are going to be streaming HELLBLADE, Senua Sacrifice tonight. I just need to go and do some settings tweaking because I can already tell you I think we'll be fine with just having it set to high. The very high settings probably wouldn't work with me streaming. Hell, even I think the high settings might not work. So let's just start another game. I have my Dark Souls UI up. And I think it'll work for this game because I started the game up just a little bit to make sure it was working. Make sure OBS could handle it. And there isn't really a UI in the game, I think, to worry about. So we're just going to go with the Dark Souls setup for now, and I think it should work. Game might have some long load times for me, too. Just putting that out there. And if it has trouble loading while I'm streaming, we may not be able to play it tonight. So yeah. Because this game is all graphics. And as I was talking about last night, my graphics card might be on the way out. Because actually last night I had trouble loading up some Dark Souls 3 areas. We might be having this trouble again. I actually don't feel like streaming tonight. Or if I have to stream, not actually doing a game like this. Just doing a relaxed stream. Hey, Heliocop. You're the first one here. Look at this load screen. Hey, Yukari. Hey, the Glio. This is not good. This hanging at a load screen. As I mentioned, sometimes my graphics card acts like a butt. Myself. Because I'm thinking if this actually works, I will upload it straight to YouTube. Or I'm going to have to Control-Alt-Delete the game and try again. Oh, never mind. Threatened it and it worked.
Hello. Who are you? Doesn't matter. Welcome. You're safe with me. I'll be right here, nice and close so I can speak without alerting the others. Let me tell you about Senua.
Let me know about the game's audio too.
The story has already come to an end, but now it begins anew.
What's happening? It's breathing. It's breathing. He knows she's getting closer. He can feel her coming closer.
I'm glad you liked the GIF, Yukari.
They're watching.
I can.
He's already done feel you come.
I didn't know how loud this game would be, so I just turned. Let me know if that's okay. I just turned out all my volume down.
Rude of me. I never told you of the others. You hear them too, right? They've been around ever since the tragedy. Well, that's not quite true. Some are old, some are new, and they've changed. I think the darkness changed them, just like it changed her.
Can you see them? Over there. Why isn't she looking? Why aren't you looking?
He's in hell high. Look, up ahead. Hell high. You see it too?
You promised you could.
Yes. It is real after all. She's finally arrived in the land of mist and fog. The place the Northmen call hell.
Turn back. Go back. Go back. It's not safe. Go back.
Go back, go back, go
It's
back.
not safe.
It's them. They're here.
You see them?
Look around and you'll see them. The drowned, the sick, slain. Here they lie, rotting in the fields and rivers of hell. But the dead don't always lie still here. This is not a place of rest.
Can't do this. Go back. Go back. They're going to do that to you. Can you see them? Can you see them? They're going to do that to you.
They're watching.
Stop.
Can you feel them watching? They're watching her. Watching her.
You're so close to the darkness. Go back. Can you feel it?
What is she thinking? I can tell you. She's afraid. Wouldn't you be? You'd think she would get used to it by now after so many years. But the darkness, it just builds onto itself, growing stronger, towering over her. You might try and ignore it, turn away. But it's always there, just out of sight, where you're most vulnerable. It's like it knows that just enough light is all you need to see its suffocating power.
Can I get a line in game? This game I don't think is a game I can make jokes about like I do with my other games.
You might think she's brave to go on this journey on her own, but it isn't bravery that drives her. Bravery only means something to those afraid of death. Senua's fear runs far, far deeper.
Yeah, Yukari, I thought you'd like that GIF. It just showed up in my Reddit stuff, and I was like, I'll share it. Raccoons like have the little hands. When they do things, it is very human. When they like I saw one of like raccoons like stealing food out of a cat dish outside, and it's the little pawsies that make them really funny.
I know what she's thinking. I hear her thoughts. It's not too will ever know. Oh, she heard us. There's no going back.
You can't do it.
Senua pushes away a world that conspired to cause so much suffering. There's nothing to go back to, and worse to look forward to. Why don't you join us? Maybe you too have a part to play in this story.
Focus. Look closer. Look. Use your eyes. Why isn't she looking closer? She needs to look closer. Focus.
Do not forget my stories, Senua. Because your darkness comes from hell, and your fate lies there. They say the burning of a corpse will take you straight to Hela's gate, but gods and the living will follow this path. You must leave the Isles of Orkney across the eastern sea, and find a road that leads north and down through deep, dark valleys. After 9 nights of riding, you will follow a great river, and will find a bridge covered in gold. The path to Helheim goes from there, across the River of Knives that flows from the dark world of Niflheim.
Well, it is. I was gonna say big metal issues. Judging from her appearance, that's actually possible.
Darkness is coming. Yearning for life. Hungers for it. Like a pack of wolves on a hunt. But she's not stopping. Not this time.
Can you see it?
Land of mist and fog. The old fool was right. What was it he said? The river of knives across which lies the halls of hell. The place they call Helheim.
I was wondering what was up with Wilson there.
I hear you.
I was gonna say, is that a skull wrapped up in that?
The source of the darkness is in Helheim. And the goddess Hela holds his soul there. Her dear beloved, Dillian.
What is she doing? Why is she doing this? Why doesn't she turn back? She's doing this for him. She wants to rescue him. He's already dead. His soul is in Helheim. His soul still lives. She needs to save his soul.
The bridge to Helheim. I forget its name. She forgets too. But she does remember that only the dead
speak of 9 worlds. The world of men they call Midgard. Sky gods dwell in Asgard. The gods of earth, harvest, wind, and sea dwell in Vanaheim. The good elves dwell in Alfheim. The evil ones dwell in Svartalfheim. The mountain giants dwell in Jotunheim. The fire giants dwell in Muspelheim. Niflheim is the world of ice and darkness. Only the dead dwell in Helheim. And that is where you must travel.
We're getting a quick primer on Norse mythology in this game. Oh.
That's the way.
It has been a long time since I have played a story-driven game.
You don't know where you're going.
And I honestly don't know how far I'm going to get in this game. Because story-driven games don't interest me as much anymore.
What's she waiting for? Why did she do that? She shouldn't have done it. She can't go back now.
No, this is it. The hidden path.
He's going to. It's dangerous.
Don't kill me. I'm not one of them. I was just hiding. I find I live longer that way. Let the bastards catch me again. Never! Wait. Who are you?
Just a memory.
Druth? Is that you?
For my tales of the Northmen, they call me Druth. A liar.
He's lost.
An old fool. Druth is my truth.
It's good to see you again. You kept your vow.
Guide you in this life and the next. I will tell you my stories of hell, if I may walk with you.
Tell me your stories again, old friend.
Why does that guy sound like Jeffrey Rush?
The runes seal the gates to hell. Focus your inner eye, and you too will see what's hidden in plain sight.
I can see one.
Have to take a
Hold
closer
it in
look
your
to see.
mind's eye. Find
She
one
needs to
like it
focus
to
now.
open the gate.
She needs to use her eyes.
It's near. Look towards the gate. And the gate moves.
The gate is open. Go through the gate. Go through it. It's dangerous. Follow it.
It worked.
I spent 6 years enslaved in hell. But I watched the Northmen. Learned their ways.
I know you did.
You listen? When everyone else laughs.
No, wait. Not Jeffrey Rush.
My people pay the heavy price.
Who played...
Stories with you. And together we will make the Northmen feel our fury.
Who played Davy Jones in the Pirates movies? 'Cause Jeffrey Rush played Barbossa.
Another voice joins us.
Yeah, mine.
She once tried to make them go away. Pretend they weren't real. But what good is that? When we are always here.
Keith Richard Yeah, I don't remember who played Davy Jones. It sounds a bit like him. Like, all he needs to do is put little rocks in his, like, words. I keep hitting the Bloodborne run button. Bloodborne/Souls run button.
I guess it's the same with heights. You can stand on the edge, pretend it's going to be okay. But you know that death is near, waiting for you to make that little slip. You can't just wish things away.
The world of the dead is ruled by the giantess, Hela, daughter of Loki. The gods feared her bloodline, bad on her mother's side, and yet much worse on her father's. So, as a child, the All-Father cast her down into Helheim and gave her power over those who die of sickness, age, hardship, and self-slaughter.
That's it, Yukari.
In all of the 9 worlds, only Hela can resurrect the dead. To Hela, your Dillion was sacrificed, and with her you must bargain.
And again, I just tried to slide down the ladder. I'm gonna keep pressing, like, the buttons for Bloodborne Dark Souls all through this game, I can already tell you. Achievement unlocked, the fight begins. Thanks, Steam. Controller.
To Helheim divides the living from the dead.
Feels like a more controller-y game.
Is that the face of Hela herself? The half-rotten goddess that rules over Helheim. Whatever horrors lie behind that door, she must find him. Shh. Someone's here. You took him from me. I beg you. Let him go. I'll give you what you want. I won't resist anymore. Just give him back.
Okay, that's her dodge button. That's a kick. That's a guard. That's a... I don't know what that was. Okay, that's a... Oh, come on. It's a rush attack. There's her slash attack. God, this is going to confuse the crap out of my hands. Ow.
Watch out! Watch out! He's stronger than you.
Hmm.
A vision of what's to come. Poor Senua. The darkness does not bargain. It does not reason. It is rot. And now it has taken hold. It will spread towards her head, the seat of the soul, until there is nothing left of her. All of her suffering will have been for nothing. It's just a matter of time.
Okay then.
The hardest battles are fought in the mind. That is what Dillian taught her.
I don't think they fought Orphan of Kos.
The dark rot will grow and soon it will take her soul. But for now, at least, she still has control of her mind. And she will fulfill her vow. Whatever the cost.
He's not right.
Listen to me, Senua. The goddess Hela lies behind the gate to Helheim. To open the gate, you must first face the gods that guard it. The god of fire, Surt, and the god of illusion, Valravan. Spill their blood to open the gate to Helheim and enter the land of the dead.
It won't open. Why can't she? She needs to challenge the gods.
Valravan, ancestor of the seers and master of ravens. He hunts his prey with his powers of illusion and feasts on their remains. Follow the path to Valravan and defeat him in battle to earn his mark. The gate to Helheim cannot be opened without it. Surt, the fire giant, has answered. He comes from a land older than mankind, and the Northmen call upon his flaming sword to raise their enemies to the ground. Fight him, Senua,
Okay, chat. I'll leave this up to you guys. Which are we going to first?
She found the wretched old fool on her way back from the wilds. An outcast. Was badly burnt all over. She took pity on him, for he was not long for this world. Like her, who spoke of his own darkness. The Northmen.
So the only... The only thing is, I'm not big on heavy story-driven games. Like, I know some people love them, but I don't play those a lot. Fire? Heliocop saying fire. Right side is lit. Well, I'm taking that as 2 for fire, so let's go for fire. Yeah, for heavily story-driven games like this, I kind of stopped playing them. Had enough Crows in Darkness and Bloodborne. No! We haven't. And actually, I know it's part of the ambiance of the game. I really wish the voices would stop. I know it's part of the character suffering from a psychosis. It's really difficult to know when to talk and when not to talk, because part of doing a stream is talking during the game. Ah, okay. Okay. Oh, right. No. Fuck, god damn it. Let me... Okay, can I... I hit my Bloodborne attacks, by the way. My Bloodborne Dark Souls buttons are absolutely coming into play here. See, the other thing is, like, I really want to practice sword swinging because my fingers don't work with these button controls. Okay.
Finish this. End it now.
Okay. Okay. Oh, right.
I can still smell it.
So we need, N and Y with a penis. So let's...
Hear their cries carried in the wind.
see.
Yes, I heard their screams.
Oh, they're gonna be next to each other. Okay. Let's see. That's close. I'm mostly looking to see if I can get that the fork. There's no UI at all. No health bar, no stamina system, nothing. You're completely going off of just watching and looking at the game. That's why we're using essentially my Dark Souls setup, because it just works fine. Yeah, this is about as UI as the game gets. So I was thinking, because there's a tree branch in here, right? There's like a tree branch that makes the H-ish rune, but it's not lining up the Y-ish rune. Maybe up here. Oh. Oh, they don't have to be together. Okay. I'm more of a, like... I like doing the talking while I'm playing a game. So yeah, obviously it's telling me this one is... It's telling me it's here because it's making the big Y. Maybe. No. See, I thought it might be... Oh, I think I see what it is. So, presumably the door's open now?
The path to Hellham is sealed to the living, but you already walk amongst the dead. Look towards the gate, and you will see that it has opened.
Yeah, this is sort of like the whole game is the characters essentially crazy. So you have voices in your head.
I knew enough of their tongue to beg for mercy, and they took me as a slave. I wish now that they had slaughtered me like the others. I rode their storm of fire, death, slavery to many lands. This darkness you speak of, I know it well.
And I'm still here to fight it. It's too fast.
No jumping.
Down. Take it down. He's gone. They're overwhelming
Do I have a guard? I do. Okay, I'm just making sure what my buttons are.
You can do it. You're close. Behind you. Behind you.
Okay, the voices actually do tell you things, though. They say, like, behind you, when there's a guy behind you. Of course, like, I'm really hurting right now. So I would imagine that once we beat these guys, we will stop combat, and yeah. There are no elevators, there are ladders. I don't know if you take fall damage in this game.
When you see a fire gate of Surt, know that only a sacrifice will stoke the fires of Muspel and let the dead walk through. Find the fire, Senua, to follow the path to Surt.
This is me just being cheeky. No. No? Okay. Like, find the fire. Then you'll go to Surt. 2. Done. Yeah, so when you're in the combat, when you're in the combat, you'll take the damage, and it's... Oh. There's like an indicator on your screen that you're taking a lot of damage.
Hell will not give you the answers you want. But you mustn't look away from the horrors it does offer. Because you cannot overcome suffering if you refuse to look at it.
Where's it gone?
The fire's disappeared.
It was everywhere.
The pyre.
Cert.
Cert is through there.
He's waiting for her. You can't get through.
How will she get through?
She'll need to find another way.
Truth. Cert. Find your own way.
There's always another way.
There's always a way.
Find your own way.
You just have to find it. Is waiting for you. It was never going to be that easy.
The Northmen tell this story.
Is waiting.
Before the Earth was created, there was a world called Muspel. Because it was in the south, it was bright and hot, flaming, burning. Sparks that flew out from Muspel became the stars. Other sparks melted ice in the frozen world of Niflheim, creating the body of the first giant, Ymir. Muspel is one of the 9 worlds, and is now the land of fire giants. And people from elsewhere cannot endure a journey there.
Sorry, that's my Bloodborne Souls instinct coming at me right there.
She needs to find it.
Another fire sacrifice.
Another fire sacrifice.
Find the fire, Senua, to follow the path to Surt.
See like a small black thing moving in the corner of my eye, and it's like I have to look at it and jump away from it.
She needs to remember the way back.
What happens when she finds it?
Everything will burn.
Concentrate on where you're going. She needs to remember the path.
Everything will burn. Then how will she find the way back?
She won't. She won't be able to tell.
The Northmen say that the defender of Muspel is called Surt, the foremost of the fire giants. His name means the Black One, because he is like something burnt. The Northmen believe that he sits at the border of Muspel with his flaming sword, and at the end of the world he will leave his post. He will travel to Asgard and Midgard, waging war against all the gods. He will be victorious, and then burn the whole world with fire.
It's not that fire.
The Northmen made fire sacrifices, burning slaves like me to reveal the path to Surt. I searched for meaning in their suffering, in their eyes, but they just screamed like helpless pigs.
That's the fire we're looking for. I just want to make sure, because I think what the puzzle is here, so we can hop down there probably. Let's test it right now. Yeah, okay. I think the puzzle going on here is we have to make it through the door, which is over there, before we pass out from smoke inhalation. Insofar as you can call that a puzzle. Wait, did we activate it? Oh, there we go. It wasn't me, it was a fire god, I swear.
Do your gods answer your prayers, Senua? I asked the gods for mercy, all of them, even theirs. None answered. In the end, I set myself free. Defy the gods, Senua.
I shouldn't be laughing during this.
Like I find mine.
But it's like you burst through the burning door, and suddenly, like, Viking Carl Urban is here with an Instagram filter over him, and he's telling you about whatever he was talking about. Wait, I thought we...
Find the fire, Senua, to follow the path to Surt.
I guess this is another one. Right?
The Northmen believe that the world will be destroyed someday. They call it Ragnarok, the destiny of the gods. Asgard will be attacked by Surt and the fire giants. A monstrous wolf will swallow the sun, and the gods will fight in vain against their enemies. There is nothing they can do to prevent it, but Odin ever seeks knowledge and magic, hoping to find a way to postpone that dark day.
I thought Ragnarok was when Thor's hammer breaks, and then he enlists the help of the Incredible Hulk to you know, stop it. Yeah, I'm getting, like, whenever that guy shows up, I get, like, serious 90s vibes, where they had, like, video, like Resident Evil, right? Where they had, like, recorded video of people for its cinematics. And that is not Carl Urban, to my knowledge. It just looks a lot like him.
workmen of hell worship the Devourers, insatiable gods of darkness. I come from Erin, Senua, where I once followed my own gods, the Tuatha De Danann.
Why did you abandon your gods?
Senua, I was a man of knowledge, not a warrior. To survive, I did things. Bad things. Like you, Senua. The man I once was has died. And when that happens, even gods you worship can die with you.
Yeah, that's the thing about story-driven games is a lot of times I'd rather watch a movie version of whatever is going on with the game. Let's see. I'm looking for... Hey, Clobber. Do you have pictures for us of food? We won't have to imagine that for Monster Hunter for much longer. But with World coming out... Let's see here. And Dark Souls, I actually think Dark Souls 3 is quite gorgeous. I mean, I thought Bloodborne was gorgeous, but then again, I really do enjoy all black as a color scheme, so maybe that's just me. Let's take a look around up here. Oh. No, I thought maybe the shape of the roof might be involved in that. I do recommend this game, though, to people who like heavily story-driven games. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, I kind of want to not have to find any more runes already. I don't think we'd go all the way back there to find it, so... See, I'm thinking it might involve the shape of the houses in some way. Like I was kind of seeing a bit of the R rune in like the way the roofs are shaped. Or maybe in some of the boards. Yeah, I was gonna... Because it's like... It's like the roof kind of has that back and forth to it. Like that's the only part of this rune that is the, like, we got to find obviously some man-made shape is going to be involved in the letter R, or pirates. Lots of pirates. Speaking of pirates, they're going to be in the next Magic set, which I'm excited for. And the whole reason I'm up here a lot is, like, they put this up here possibly for a reason. Well, unless it is in the trees in some way. Like in the branches. Excuse me. Yeah, and, like, nothing's jumping out at me like, oh, this is where it is. I'm mostly looking for a forked bracket that I can line up to something that's, like, beam-like. Oh. No. Oh, and speaking of Magic the Gathering, Vampiric Bloodlust, one of the new 4-commander decks. I picked it up today. My friend at the store, he works at a comic store that sells Magic the Gathering, said that of the 4, the Vampires and Dragons decks, their respective decks, are selling like hotcakes. Obnoxiously so. Because there are 2 others, Cats and Wizards. And for Commander as a product, he has to buy all of the various decks of a Commander set. And we can't activate. Okay, we can't pull it up here. So we have to be on flat ground to do it. But yeah, he said, Dragons and Vampires are going fast. Cats and wizards aren't, and it annoys him a bit because he has to jack up the price for vampires. Jack up the price for dragons, because when he buys it, he has to buy all the decks of a complete set of decks for the store, which means, oh, wonder if it's on the ground right there. I have to go back up and check. Which means the ones that go faster he has to just get more of, but that means he has to get more of the ones that aren't going fast. I do play Magic Clobber. I mostly play Commander. I don't play like Standard or Modern or Vintage or anything like that. Oh. Really? You're putting it here. Like in not... Oh, man. That's sort of a... I wouldn't say neutered down version, but it's a very neutered down version. Yeah, that is true. The thing about, like, Commander versus, like, Modern or Vintage or Legacy or Standard, Commander is very, like, you don't... It is a little pay to win, but because it's all a casual format, I'm going to make sure I know where the door is. Okay, so we're right here. Because it's a casual format, you can build to your own power level, I guess you could say. So you can build, like, a really, like, themey, gimmicky deck for it. Oh! Oh! Okay. So we can't just run for the door straight away. I'm hoping more to Yukari. Oh. Let's oh, I know what they're going to force us to do. I think we might have to run towards that house. Yeah, my plan backfired of being all prepared and shit. I think this is just reinforcing the idea that this is all in her head. Okay, let's see. This way. I'm not pressing anything. Okay. I don't know if there are special controls to balance. I don't know if it's not the right way, because you can't just run for that door, because there's fire blocking you. I don't... When I say I hate hardcore, this is the reason why. Right now I want to trial and error a puzzle. And I feel like I'm being punished for trial and erroring a puzzle. If we're going to have, like, this black hand thing growing on me now. Because you can see there's a line of fire right here that pushes us this way. So we go in here, and this falls down and blocks us. So we run over here. We turn this corner, turn this corner, turn this corner, and we're up here. And now we have to go across this balance beam thing. And I don't know if there's anything special we have to do again for balancing. Whether we go fast, or we have to, like, stop. No, we had to balance ourselves with the stick. Okay. Now we can run up here, and we hop down. Oh, we had to fight a dude here. Oh, I hit Dark Souls attack buttons again. Okay. See, I think everything kind of led me to believe that you have to rush through these. When really it's kind of a run puzzle.
Good. Let it collapse, and have the courage to shed your tears. Raise your word and cry.
Oh, the game's really well polished.
Only then, as with a newborn, will you see the world anew.
No. I see nothing now.
Oh. Oh, excuse me. Like, for a $30 game, this is absolutely stunning. Got 3 runes over there. Hey, Pikachu song. Welcome. Unless this is just certs puzzles, right? That are the rune puzzles.
Tell me truth. How did you escape your darkness?
Senua, once I found my purpose, I was no longer enslaved to the suffering I had to endure to reach it. Unclouded by fear, I could see it clearly in others. Even my captors feared the fire of Cert. And so, during one raid, I took my chance and ran, knowing that they would not follow. The fool ran into the fire. They left me for dead. Maybe they were right to. But here I am. Free.
I'm glad I found you in the wilds. I wouldn't have made it without you.
Oh, I thought they were being incredibly clever with that one. Because the shapes are so much alike. Yeah, I'm thinking we got a lot to look at for this one. I would assume we don't have to go down there, though. So let's see. We're getting... So I think it actually does give you a lot of hints as to what you're looking for when you enter the place where the rune might be. So this one's giving me the, like, cross T one in this particular room. So that's what we're looking for.
The Northmen say that at Ragnarok, the sons of Muspel will travel to battle in the ship called Naglfar, the corpse ship. And when the sons of Muspel leave the ship and ride to battle, it will be as though the sky had split open, and Surt will lead them. Wherever he goes, flame will erupt before him, and fires will burn behind him.
So let's see. So this one, I think is... oh. I think this one might be the hardest just because of its simplicity, maybe? Oh! Okay. So yeah, we got that open. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Let us see. It's some pretty good thunder sounds, too. I did no such thing. That's rude. It's rude, Heliocop. I do it with my Dark Souls characters. They're all guys. Let's see. Let's... oh, there it is. I think that's it. Maybe. I can point out the control differences real quick and why I keep getting confused. So in Dark Souls and in Bloodborne, your attacks are done with the shoulder buttons. All 4 shoulder buttons are related to your weapons. And in all of the, you know, standard buttons, whether it's Xbox 360 controller or PS4 controller, these do all your interactions and items and things. So like in Bloodborne, the top button is heal. It's Y on this, it's triangle on that. Squares use item, / X's use item. In Dark Souls, Y is 2-hand your weapon, 1-hand your weapon. It's your hand switches. And then square slash X is use item, including Estus flasks. And then B slash circle is hold to run, press to evade. And then A slash X is interact. In this game, X and Y on this controller are attack buttons. And then guard is R1, and the run button is L1. So it confuses the ever-loving crap out of my hands. Well, yeah, you can get a look at him here, Clobber. Well, no, you can't, but...
Senua, if I could survive the fire of Surt and escape my darkness, then so can you. Run, Senua! Run! Through the fire! Keep running! Go on! Nothing will stop me! Run, Senua! Run! 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 Run, Senua! Through the fire!
This one feels like it's last Fire Dory. That also feels very like it's supposed to happen.
She's dying.
It's him. It's him.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This darkness takes everything. Everyone.
Senua, are you sure we want to do this? We can fight this together, side by side. We always do.
This is my battle. I have to face it alone, away from here.
Where will you go?
I don't know.
For how long?
I don't know.
I believe in you. You know that. Just promise me that you will come back to me. I want you to say it. I want you to say it.
I will come back to you. I promise.
Come on.
Spill the blood of Surt. Take his mark, and I will cheer you from the and forever be in your debt.
You!
Apparently we're here already.
Everyone! But not me! Fight me now!
Whoop. Oh, Dark Souls buttons. Whoops. Tried to hit the attack buttons for not this game. Spank them. Oh, I think I just died. I don't know if there's a... Oh, okay, there is a get up button. You press the attack buttons to get up. Whoops. God damn it. Oh. Okay. Well. At least it throws you. Why am I not evading to the side? Get. No 3 attack. Ah, fuck. Oh, focus now. So we can enter a bullet time mode when the voices tell us focus now. I don't know what's going on her hip. Estes. I think I did have a death in there. When I was knocked on the ground.
One. A greater battle takes its place. And so it goes. Until we fall. And in the end, we all fall. Even the gods have their time. Yet we still go on.
Could be Heliocup.
I made a promise, and I will go to hell to keep it.
I die
See you later, Yukari.
free, knowing you will carry my stories with you. I have fulfilled my quest.
Yes, you have.
When darkness comes, I vow to guide you in this life and the next to fulfill yours.
Then I will see you in hell.
Be ready to face horror in the eye, as I have, to find your answers. Your quest. Your truth.
truth was a troubled man. A scholar turned slave. They tortured him. Took him with them on their raids. Drove him to madness. Spreading this new form of darkness to new worlds. To my world. Senua saw a deep connection form between the Northmen and the darkness. His tales of hell were true. Then that was the source of it. She learned everything she could from him. Until she too could see what he saw.
I think I'm just gonna run back to the door where we, you know, pick our path. Wait. And then I'll call this game for today. I might finish it in my own time. I don't want to do a heavy spoiler stream for this game.
It's a serious question. When the illusion of self is shattered, you simply cease to be. Though it may not seem that way to others, you know when it is true. You can feel it. A stranger in your own body. An imposter.
Wait.
And nothing is the same ever again. Senua has died. And she will do so again. You can be sure of that.
Now I have to find my way back. Oh, yeah, here we go. I actually don't know if I did die during that fight, or if I just was knocked down and got back up. Maybe I did. It's hard to tell, because your life, I guess, essentially, is like the black hand thing. Wait a minute, did I just go in a big old circle back to the start? Oh, it's confusing now. Yeah, because that's one of the fire doors we opened. God damn it. Apparently I can't fall off cliffs. I can get hella lost, though. I got that going for me. Okay, so we can go out here. Okay, that was the big double door I joked about, where it's like, look for the fire, and I'm like, well, there are a couple right there. See, part of the thing with this game is I don't think I can do, like, and I walked up here, and then I was like, wait, where do we go? Okay, so I think we go over here. And down there, maybe? I didn't see anything that was like a warp back to door thing in like that throne room. Nope, no ghost navigation system. This is a fight, though.
There's blood.
You'd expect shirtless dudes to be a little more damaged from swords, you know?
You won. It's nearly over.
Oh boy, 3 of them.
Capable warrior. Remember your training. Watch out!
There's sort of a just defense system in this game. Where if you do block an attack, like... ah! That wasn't it.
She will die.
I can't see because of that pole. You know, that light on her hip might actually be that Heliocop.
She can't. Why? She's only done one test. Just one. She's only done one test.
What's the other test? Is there another one?
There must be. The gate won't open.
Ruth said Valravan. Valravan. Dog. Magic.
Valravan. Druth said Valravan.
No, he didn't. She must have passed the test. The second test.
She can sense the darkness coming.
She has to challenge Valravan.
There must be another test.
Yep, so Valravan's that way.
If she wants to open the gate, she'll have to challenge Valravan.
So, it's a pretty cool game. What's photo mode? Oh. That's what photo mode is. Let's turn that off so I don't accidentally turn it on. Yeah, I kept getting, I think it was this pole in the way. It's funny is I think Dark Souls prep me for all the evasion in this game. Because you evade the attacks as they're about to hit you, and then they won't. You don't like spam evade or hit evade really early. Yeah, so we'll maybe do this more next week. I'll post this stream on YouTube, I think, as the Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice stream. I know I haven't gone that long tonight, but I actually kind of didn't feel like streaming today. I don't know, I feel kind of shitty today, and just wasn't up to streaming for like 3 whole hours. And it's not the noodles I had last night. Let's say I've gotten those out of my system. I just, I don't know. Don't have it in me tonight to do a really long stream. I'll maybe make up for it on Monday by doing something longer. Maybe bring food along. No idea what game I'm going to play Monday. It could be something weird. It burned twice, Heliocop. And what's funny is I had those leftovers for lunch. So I get to experience those noodles 4 times, technically. They were like... I'm used to hot as a spice level. They were really, really spicy. Like, not as bad as this cup noodle I had, like, a couple weeks ago on stream where I was, like, dying. But, for restaurant spiciness, it was like, wow, that's actually really, really harsh. But that's not why I'm feeling down in the dumps. I've just not, like, I've not felt like doing anything today. And if I were to, like, have the stream on, I'd want it to be a game where it's, like, what, Dark Souls 3, maybe? Where I could just sit back and not have to talk and interact with things and figure out puzzles. Like, if Kavo were on and he wanted to do some co-op Dark Souls right now, I'd be up for it. Oh, he's online. Yeah, so otherwise, if he says no, or if he's just at work or something, then yeah, I'll just say it'll be stream's done. Oh, another thing I got today. Starfinder. Core rulebook. Look at this book. I have, like, I could go get my Pathfinder core rulebook. To compare it to. But solid book here. Solid. I actually got a really good deal on it, so I can't say $60 book, but it's normally $60. I got a really good deal on it, and I had some store credit at the comic store, so I was like, you know what? Came out last week, so yeah. I've kind of been waiting for this book since they announced Starfinder. For those that don't know, poor Cavo. Cavo's closing all week at work. He requests death. If I were in Chicago right now, I would offer it and oblige that request. Yeah, for those that don't know, Pathfinder is Pathfinder is Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 with upgrades. So it's kind of like Dungeons & Dragons 3.75. It came out in 2006, I think. It was originally going to be like its own world in the D&D 3.5 system. Like, it was going to be its own campaign. But then D&D switched over to its 4.0 rule set, and the 3.5 open RPG license, I guess, was basically up for grabs, or still existed, right? So 3.623. Okay, I'll give it that. I'll give that one to you. So with that license, Paizo, the company that owns Pathfinder, basically started using it, and they released a core rulebook, which is basically 3.5 with lots of improvements. So, like, all of the classes actually, like, work for 20 levels if you want to focus on them. And all the classes got really, really cool things. So some classes like the wizard and sorcerer are basically the same as 3.5, and then like the druid and cleric got sort of toned down from their 3.5 counterparts, though they're still really good. And then like the fighter and paladin are like playable out of the box in Pathfinder. Barbarians playable out of the box in Pathfinder. And it got really popular amongst tabletop gamers. And they released a ton of splat books for them. And one of them, which is my favorite, is the Advanced Player's Guide, which has the Alchemist class in it, which is one of my favorite classes in the game, possibly my favorite class. And a lot of others, Witch, Oracle, Cavalier. And they've done like a lot of stuff for Pathfinder. I'm looking at my Pathfinder bookshelf, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. What? 20 hardcovers, I think? It's hard to count them because it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 16, 19, 22 are what I have. So I don't even have them all. Like I skipped on a lot of the GMing ones because I don't think I really need those. But yeah, there may be 30 hardcovers. And then D&D moved to 5. D&D Next, or whatever they call it. And it got popular again. And I think it also got popular again because of things like, is it Critical Role? That thing McCree GMs. Matt Mercer GMs. So D&D kind of came back. Pathfinder's existent, but because D&D came back, Pathfinder's, I wouldn't say backseated, but it's a little sad. I actually like the Pathfinder world and what they did with the game. It basically kept tabletop gaming alive while 4th edition existed. But anyways, they released this sci-fi edition, essentially, of Pathfinder, which is called Starfinder. And it's really cool. I haven't read in detail what it is, but it's sort of like, it's not a hard science thing, though you could easily make it a hard science game. You just take the magic out. It's sort of along the lines of, like, I guess Mass Effect. Star Wars. Maybe Halo? Could probably do the Expanse in this. There's Starship rules. I haven't read them yet. But it all looks really, really cool. And anyone who likes pen and paper RPGs probably already owns that book. And if not, I do suggest going and picking it up. I just realized how much money I've spent on hardcover RPG books. And I'm sure there are people who've spent way more because they've been playing like 3.5 when it was, out and popular. Because I didn't play tabletop games during 3.5. I actually picked it up with Pathfinder. I still remember back in the far off year of 2006, which is actually kind of a far off year now. Or was it like, maybe it was 2007 or 8 when I had my Pathfinder collection was the Bestiary, the Core Rulebook, the Game Master's Guide, and the Advanced Player's Guide. Now it's Advanced Class Guide, Advanced Player's Guide, Advanced Race Guide, 6 Bestiaries, Core Rulebook, Game Master Guide, Horror Adventures, Inner Sea World Guide, 2 of those. I don't remember what the other one is. I can't see the full titles. The NPC Codex, the Occult Adventures book. I think that's Pathfinder. What the fuck is that book? Oh, Pathfinder Unleashed. Ultimate Equipment, Ultimate Intrigue, Ultimate Magic, Ultimate Combat. Wait. Yeah. And a GM screen. And I have like maybe 15 of the small softcover books. But yeah, Pathfinder's really awesome, and I highly recommend everyone pick it up. Sorry to YouTube, because I'm just uploading this the way it is right now, game's over, so you could probably stop the video now. I'm just talking about tabletop RPGs for a little bit. Oh, we do the wind down. For anyone on YouTube who hasn't watched one of my streams, regardless of the game I'm playing, I always do like and regardless of the number of viewers, I always do like a roundup thing at the end. Because it's only Helia Cop and maybe even me. Like, let me check my viewer list. I don't know if I'm counted as one of the 2 viewers. No, Clobber's in here. Okay. So, yeah. It's because I'm playing a weird Wonder game today. And I'm not, like, super wanting to stream tonight. But every time I stream, I always finish off with a little powwow, a little sit and chat. Even if I'm the only one doing it. Just to wind down the end of a stream. I do it with every game I play. And for anyone who hasn't seen it, Thursday is a food day. Though I'm probably going to bring food on Monday. Show off some form of foodstuffs to make up for a short stream. Eh. You know, honestly, given how quiet I was tonight, I'd understand it. Oh, Clobber's in Grim Dawn. Damn it, Clobber. Oh, tomorrow on Saturday, Clobberfrog is actually going to be streaming as well. I think he said he was going to do a Skyrim mod that, like, is a heavy lore-based custom story for the game. So all of you should check that out. Clobberfrog it's like what? KL0BBER. No, it's KLOBBERFR0G on Twitch. I highly recommend you guys go and check it out and support him. He'll be doing that on Saturday and Sunday. And my verdict on Hellblade, it's a fine game. I'll probably finish it off stream. I'll probably finish it off camera. Yeah, that's the other thing, is it's a game that isn't very streamer friendly, actually. Because it's constantly telling you things. And it's also got like a serious subject matter. And not to say something like Dark Souls or Bloodborne isn't serious or have like serious subjects or serious lore. But like those games, I feel like I can actually make fun of them and make commentary on while playing them, because they're also a little on the campy side. I mean, Dark Souls is famous for tri-finger butthole or tri-tongue butthole. This game, if I were to make a tri-tongue butthole joke, I'd probably feel a little bad about it myself, and then maybe if there's like a super fan that sees this video, they'd maybe get angry at me. This game seems like it's more of like a movie that you're controlling too. Which I'm not big on. I don't mind some cinematics. I'm more of a games are games type of gamer. If I want like yeah, that too, Heliocop. This game is like, I find it interesting she won't look at the camera. Like every time we turn the camera to look at her, she turns her head. It's kind of an interesting little detail. Oh no, I've confused her. Here, there. That's very, very distinct for you to look to the left. That's another thing. It's like... It's like, in a lot of games, you'll get story, game, story, game, story, puzzle, story, game, puzzle, game, story, game. Like, it'll be very distinct what you're doing. So it means that I could, like, talk about a magic deck during that. And, like, yeah, during the puzzles I could. But it's like, as soon as I start walking, the voices in her head start telling her story. It is a very pretty game, too. And if you're a person that likes story-driven games, then I would definitely suggest you take a look at it. For me, for story in games, I usually, if I'm really into the game, I'll find it. Sometimes you want it, though. Like, something like Final Fantasy Tactics, to me, it's like, yeah, that's a game where you need that story in there to really experience it. Something like, what? Metroid Prime, Bloodborne, Dark Souls. Those are more like you play the game and you'll pick up lore as you go. Grim Dawn. Grim Dawn's a perfect example of that, where it's like there is lots of lore and reasons for everything happening. It's just you end up finding it yourself and exploring it yourself. And I like that a lot more. Like, I like being more engaged in like, oh, what's the deal with this thing? Oh, I have these lore pieces I can either go and find, or I found them and I can go read them. I have these data entries I've acquired that will explain things that I find confusing if I want to have them explained. If I want more depth. Otherwise, it's just, a lot of games are just, give me control so I can just go and wail on things. That's fine too. And I generally lean that way a bit more than towards, let me sit down and experience this story. So it's just my opinion that this game is probably not in the for me category. But I may finish it off camera still, just to finish the experience. But I do recommend it for people looking for story-driven games. Games as a movie, games as an experience. This would be a game for you. So, Clobber or Heliocop, you got any final thoughts? No, just asking for those final thoughts, Clever. Because it's you and Heliocop and me. Small crowd tonight. Oh no, you're good. Are you going to have those on tomorrow? Or are you going to touch your butt? Are you gonna have those for tomorrow, or are you gonna do a lot of talking? Okay. Because you mentioned you were doing like a lore heavy game for your next stream, and I was wondering if you're gonna have the music playing still. Sweet physical CDs. I haven't bought a CD since... I think... Do you guys remember the bookstore Borders? I haven't bought a CD... I haven't bought a CD since Borders closed. And it had a very, very high discount on Heaven and Hell. You know, Dio rejoined with Sabbath for a tour, and they released an album. I don't remember the album's name. I remember they called themselves Heaven and Hell because that was the name of the album they did. One of the albums Dio did with Black Sabbath. I think I bought that, and I don't think I bought a Nightwish album that day. I know I bought that album, though. I remember because it was really expensive for like a CD album, and I was like, well, that's really expensive even with a discount. Video games I can understand more because you can occasionally get stuff with the boxed edition. Like, I mean, my high-tech microphone stand is a Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess with the Wolf Link Amiibo game box. I'd intended to play all of the Zelda games for YouTube and the channel, but Nintendo are like huge jerks when it comes to streams and video on YouTube, with their copyright claims, that I was just like, I'm not gonna deal with this. I will deal with it when Metroid Samus Returns comes out, because I have the technology to play that on stream with my 3DS. And Metroid is probably my favorite Nintendo title. No, I said YouTube. Did I mumble again? Did I get all mush mouth? I was actually thinking of it again today as to why I've been kind of poorly enunciating lately. Cornhub. I don't even think that's a pretend porn site. And a lot of people don't know this, but I have a very severe overbite. So like front teeth touching. And it's like, I guess I have to open my mouth a bit more, if that makes any sense. Like, I have to actually physically move my jaw more to talk more clearly. X-Hamster then. Oh crap, I mentioned a porn site by name. YouTube's gonna take the monetization away from this video. I'm just joking. They'll do it because there's blood in it. Yeah, in case anyone's wondering, I'm not joking about that. I have maybe a half a dozen videos that say they can't be monetized for all advertisers because of that fucking bot. Not that I'm earning any money off of YouTube anymore, thanks to their adpocalypse destroying my channel. But yeah, it's like, okay. So what, 6 o'clock my time? Or 4 o'clock my time? Thereabouts. Cover will be starting around, I guess it would be, because I started around 5 to 6, so maybe 3 to 4 EST tomorrow. It's possibly gonna, it's not the end of YouTube, but it's definitely dinged them really, really badly. There's a kind of smaller channel I follow that's still like a successful channel. Like, it's big by my standards of channel, but small by like major YouTubers channels, called Good Bad Flicks, where it's a guy that reviews, like, they're not good movies, they're bad movies, but they're entertaining movies. Like, they're good bad movies, right? They're either so bad they're good, or there's just something about the lower quality about the movie that still makes it entertaining to watch or fun to watch. And he reviews those movies. And he posted like a vlog on Monday, and he showed his dashboard, and every single video of his said it can't be advertised. And he sounded pissed. Like, he wasn't screaming or yelling, but he was very, very just, like, the way he was saying things was very tight. So I was like, oh man, that's a human being that is incredibly angry at what's happened recently. But I think maybe I think maybe it's been fixed because I haven't had any flags myself for that in the last couple days. I think Class of Nukem High might be one he's done. You'd have to go check yourself. I've watched a couple of his movies he's reviewed, and they're not good, but man, are they fun to watch. There was one that was like a zombie cop movie. I don't remember what it was. I'd have to go look it up. It was like a buddy cop movie where one of the cops gets turned into a zombie. The movie just goes off the rails at the end. The dad from A Christmas Story is in it, I think. It was really good, actually, for what it was. I'm mostly into B movies. Like, I have started watching B horror movies on Netflix already. It's not even September technically yet. I do it as background for when I'm doing something boring in a game or working on something. But yeah, I'm gonna go, I think, over the weekend to the Good Bad Flicks Twitch channel where he, I guess, plays games. I'm gonna throw my Twitch Prime at him to support him. Because there are large YouTube channels that are going to survive this no problem. Mark Plyer, Game Grumps, Philip DeFranco. I think they're all going to be fine. Yes, Clobber. There's one called, I think it's like The Black Room, which I think was maybe someone's plot to a porno that they just took the porn out and made a horror movie out of it. There's one called Satanic, which was a bunch of idiot kids pick up a hitchhiking girl, and she turns out to be a Satanist. She summons Satan into their lives. Hijinks ensue. I watch it all. I will watch all sorts of horror movies. Some I won't watch again, like Martyrs. Some I will absolutely watch every year, like House of the Devil. What's another really good one? Hush was really good. I'm gonna watch it again this year. That's a newer one. It Follows. I loved It Follows. It was shot near me. It's part of the reason I enjoy watching that movie is I'm like, oh, yeah, I know where that is. I mostly go in, like, my list of good horror movies are all, like, slow burn horror movies. So I do really like just tension building, quieter movies, not jump scare filled movies. Good Bad Flicks. Good Bad Flicks. He's also, like, that's also one of the channels whose Patreons I've actually considered, like, going and spending my money on. In fact, I might even do that, too, over the weekend. Should I remember, is I'm going to go and throw a couple dollars at this guy, because I love his channel. And hate to see it go away. But he's in that butter zone. Like, I'm in an area where it's not going to be a living at all. I have 5K subs. In the last 28 days, I've gained 16, right? I'm only posting Let's Plays because I'm weary of posting anything more. And good. And like, there are big channels that don't care. They just don't care anymore because they're part of networks. Or they're just so big, even if a percentage of advertisers leave it, they won't care. This guy's in like that butter zone of, oh, he's actually doing it. Like this is like what he's doing for a living. But he's not so big that he just survives everything bad that happens on YouTube. So I'd really hate to see him go away, because I really do love his channel. Like, he's maybe like my favorite mid-tier YouTuber. Hey Parthenox. I'm just rounding out the stream with our usual talking thing. Because I played all of, not all of, well, I played the amount of Senua's Sacrifice, HELLBLADE, I want to play today. So I'm just doing a talkie at the end. You know, I was going to upload this entire stream just straight to YouTube, but I might want to trim out the talkie parts. Well, what happened with YouTube was, in the spring, the Wall Street Journal basically wrote a hit piece on PewDiePie. PewDiePie is the biggest, I should say, most subscribed YouTube channel. And their hit piece basically said PewDiePie was a Nazi. Which is not true. He's done jokes with Nazi imagery, but he's not like a Nazi, period. And you may or may not like him as a YouTuber, or even as a person, but what mainstream media wrote about him was a hit piece. Because they're old media. They're dying. And they need to write hit pieces to basically screw over new media to try and keep themselves alive. So YouTube pulled a lot of advertising, or not YouTube, the advertisers on YouTube pulled out, which meant YouTube wasn't making as much money, YouTubers weren't making as much money, and they pulled out because they said, you need to control what's on YouTube more, and that's why Google's doing a lot of what it's been doing lately with its bizarre, almost censorship-like practices, including that bot more recently, that almost erased YouTube channels. You know what, I'll leave this in, because it's me complaining about YouTube. Oh, Parthenox, it's Good Bad Flicks. He reviews B movies. He reviews the type of movies that are, like, so bad they're good. And he does a really good job of it. And he goes over a lot of really, like, awesome yet bad movies. Well, I'm just bringing, up to speed what's happening with YouTube. And part of what YouTube is doing, as a result of that, is it's sort of trying to get rid of, like extremist content, where it's like a ISIS recruiting video, jihadist recruiting videos, because you don't want that, right? And they start putting out bots, because there's a lot of content on YouTube. Like, me explaining this, there's been hundreds of hours of content put on YouTube during this, like, couple-minute explanation of what's going on. So, the reason it's screwing up so bad is it's too heavy-handed. And I think they did fix it, but I know, it's really dumb. It's just, they're just shooting themselves in the foot. But the problem is, something like YouTube doesn't, like, make money. It's not profiting off of itself. The reason Google does it is because there are smart people that work at Google. They can use it as a loss leader for their advertising searches, which is, their bread and butter. And I would assume they at least understand that, yes, you may lose money on this, but like an economy is based around it now. And supporting the economy does mean sometimes you might have a lost leader, like YouTube bandwidth costs. But it's a bigger benefit to everyone to have YouTubers be successful. So the problem is, the point I'm getting to is, with this little side tangent, is there's no alternative right now. There is like vid.me, which I've considered starting putting videos on just as a backup. There's Twitch. There are a couple other things. Nothing's as big as YouTube. And if anything gets as big as YouTube, it's not going to be able to sustain itself. So when a bunch of advertisers pull out, that's kind of a problem. Because you've already got this essentially business that is not profiting. And you start losing money. You kind of gotta panic. Be a little heavy-handed with your reaction. But it still sucks. At least that's my interpretation, too. Based off of what some other people have said. I'm sure some people remember me practically crying when that adpocalypse happened. And I was really angry about that. I was angry and I was saddened by it. And that's also why I haven't... One of the reasons why I haven't been posting, like, guide videos on YouTube lately. And I've been thinking about doing, not a rebranding, but just... maybe trying to do a new thing with it. I have a lot of ideas in my head, but I have to work on getting them going. Yeah, there was a guy in chat that was basically saying, not that YouTubers deserve it, but he was either playing devil's advocate on it, or he was on the side. He was one of those people that was like, well, maybe you gotta get a real job now. I hate people like that. And my reasoning was, imagine if whatever company you work at just fired everybody. Just outright one day walked in, well, everybody's fired, get out. At least from what I remember. It's been a while. I don't even think that VOD exists online anymore. I know I have it recorded somewhere. Because I record every stream. Oh, yeah. Like at the peak, when I was doing, like, guided videos, not every day, but almost every day, like a 10-minute video is like, geez, like 3 hours of work, not counting export time. Because you have to go through the video like 3 or 4 times. I wasn't even doing anything that spectacular. Still took me forever. Yeah, actually, Pond 3, that's a good point, too. I actually, like, on some of my guided videos, I put a little thing at the end that's like, hey, that's basically a Patreon logo, right? And I have little Patreon and donation things in the panels below. And it's like, I think every time I've mentioned those, like out loud mentioned those in a video, like, hey, could you please go support my Patreon, blah, blah, blah. There's been I wouldn't say every time. Lots of times, though. Maybe every second or third time. There's someone complaining about it. Like, I had one guy. I'm not even mentioning it anymore. Like, I just have that little bug at the end of the videos. I had one guy already, like, a week ago, complain about it. And my response was, how dare I provide hours of free content Not exactly the greatest free content, I know, but how dare I do that and ask for a tiny bit of support to do it. Speaking of which... Oh, nope, no one today. Oh, wait. Let me refresh the dashboard. Nope, no one today. I'm a horrible person for wanting to make a living and eat food. How dare I? How dare I? I can understand it, definitely, but I can understand it if it's something like a very extreme subject. But what we're talking about here are like people, like I mentioned Good Bad Flicks, right? And he reviews B movies, and it's like he's getting like just shit on by YouTube advertising because the movies have what? Copywritten content? Cartoony violence? I mean, fuck, I had like a half dozen videos, like I said. It was Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Granted, I swear occasionally. I don't know an adult that doesn't swear. And that's one of the things that can get you flagged by this bot is swearing. So unless advertisers live in a fantasy land where cursing doesn't exist. I mean, hell, I've heard Vadi, the guy that does all the Dark Souls and Bloodborne things, swear in a video before. It was very disconcerting, but he swore in this video, and it's like, hey, this great lore video is gonna be removed from, advertising just because he swore once in it. Yeah, I think that's what happened with Good Bad Flicks. Because he posted that blog video, and he showed his YouTube dashboard, and it was all yellow on the little advertiser icons. I think it might already be toned back. Because I've been uploading essentially the same videos, and it's been much better. Like, it hasn't flagged anything really recent. Like, I can actually look right now. Oh, no. Oh, wait, that's my stream announce video. Yeah, that gets flagged. That's funny. Should probably be careful about that. Yep, I have 1, 2, 3... Oh! Oh! They're actually going away. So it's 1, 2... I only have 3 now. It was like 6 or 7 the other day. Well, yeah, there is that too, Heliocop. Yeah, for me it's only 3 Bloodborne videos now. Wolf Overcloaked, Father Gas Cannon and NPC cleanup, and then getting the rifle spear. Yeah, imagine a company like what? General Electric trying to take the moral high ground? Yeah. I agree, Parthenox. I mean, I also kind of agree with Clobber too, but that sounds like Tigrex. Oh, by the way, everyone, Irex posted the bow and hammer today, and I believe he did dual blades and longsword yesterday for his videos. So he's got 5 left. I haven't actually looked at his channel recently. Maybe he's gotten another up. Sword and shield, great sword, the 2 bow guns, and the lance are what he has left. Yeah, I can understand it. Like, if it's something like, oh, this is a video about child abuse. We don't want our... Can I play another YouTuber's videos on my stream? I can link it. See, I'd probably want to ask Rex Gaming if I could use his footage before posting it. One day I will spell his name correctly. Oh yeah, light bowgun is up now. There's the hammer. Hammer's new thing is when you press, I think it circle, you do like this chop move, and it's, if it hits, you start just hammering over and over and over again up to like 5 times. It's almost like an axe chop. Yeah, he needs to do heavy bowgun, lance, SNS, and greatsword still. That I agree, Parthenox, but like big time advertisers are big companies, and big companies right now are very old hat. So until they go away, which isn't going to happen anytime soon, or until younger people who are younger now take them over and are like, you know, maybe we shouldn't care as much about the word fuck being in a video online where ad is going to show up, then yeah, it shouldn't be. Let's switch to this. It shouldn't fall on the creators on YouTube when this happens. The backlash should not be on the little guy at all. Speaking of advertisements, I'm going to keep these cans facing that way. Yeah, I can see maybe them having, I don't know if you want to hit a hit piece with a hit piece, but a lot of people did point out that, yeah, this is essentially that. It's old media crying and being scared. I'd probably say for Monster Hunter World, I'm still looking forward to the set of weapons I said initially. SNS, Gun Lance, Switch Axe, Charge Blade. They're very... Oh, yeah. That's the thing. They should have known better, but why? Oh, I'm sure that... Well, for one, I have like 4 thoughts in my head right now. So Wall Street Journal is owned by News Corp, which is Rupert Murdoch. Very old hat. Like, Rupert Murdoch's dream was to own all the newspapers in the world. newspapers. Newspapers. And this is in the age of the internet. So it's like, yeah, he wants newspapers. And it's like very, very, very old-fashioned, very old hat. So, like, running a hit piece on a YouTuber, the big YouTuber, they knew what they were doing. And, I mean, yeah. It's sad. It's just sad. I'll bet it was something like, I'll bet they knew exactly what they were doing taking those images out of context too. Even with I don't think it was like, "Oh, look, the biggest YouTuber, look at this." And they show like some 80-year-old editor like a picture of a guy in a Nazi costume, and they're like, and he's like, "By Joe, that guy has a Nazi costume on. We need to expose this. We need to expose the YouTube Nazis." I think they were like, let's be calculated with this and selectively take these clips out of context. Yeah, I'm looking forward to my Core 5 weapons. But all the weapons look like they've gotten a lot that make them better. Even if it's something like the hunting horn where it's just you can see what songs you're going to get. It doesn't have any new moves really. Or even like the dual blades, which technically doesn't really have any new moves either. And I'll probably start that game on SNS for the first couple hunt. Well, no. I'll probably start on Gunlance. Work a lot of SNS in there. That's right, Clover. Light bow gun. Light bow gun. I would suggest, Clobber, you start with the hammer, because it's really easy to pick up and learn. Yeah, I'm fine with it not being in the game. I hear that, I think it was maybe the Chinese equivalent of, what would it be, the SCPA? Or like there was like a uproar that in maybe China that the cats were getting hurt while you're doing that, so it was considered like cartoon animal abuse. Oh yeah, totally, Parthenox. Well, potentially rip Clobber. Your Anglinish is failing. Yeah, heavy bowgun's probably, of the three, the strongest ranged weapon traditionally. The other two are still good, though. But this is Monster Hunter World, and things could be totally different now. But yeah, I was gonna maybe start on Gunlance with SNS as a backup, and then break out the Swax and the Charge Blade a little more into the game. I said core 5. I think I meant 4. It can. It said it can use. You can use the slinger when you have the weapon drawn. So I'm assuming it can use the grapple hook part of it. Well, I shouldn't confidently say it can, right? I should say I'm assuming it can. That's a good point about greatswords. Usually the ore weapon, or is it metal weapon? Would you refer it to? It actually gets pretty good for that one. Yeah, I recommend for all the Dark Souls fans out there who are gonna maybe pick up Monster Hunter now to start on SNS. Because even though it's a weird button press to use your items with your weapon out, I think Dark Souls players are gonna be more used to that. It's gonna, I can already point it out. The use weapon is gonna probably be hold R1 and press square. Because the controls are gonna be exactly the same. So you have triangles attack 1, circles attack 2, X is roll, square is sheath your weapon / use item. So hitting R1 and square is gonna be use item. Because the other attack button they're using is R2. Yeah, the heavier weapons, like that starter you're given that's easy to upgrade, is really good for it. So like the starter hammer is probably going to be a really nice hammer. It's going to get outclassed later on, but what was I going to say? The hammer's going to get outclassed later on by some of the better endgame hammers, but it's still going to be a nice choice. Same thing with the bone hammer. Like, we can't assume anything, but based off previous Monster Hunters, you'll probably have 1 or 2 basic weapons you can just take down a straight upgrade line with easy to acquire materials. And you'll be able to get some, I don't want to say solid choices for a hammer, but they'll be really solid. Same with the greatsword. The lighter weapons like lance, gunlance actually might have a good one in the starter gunlance. But yeah, like lance, sword and shield, longsword, like the things that do more pokey stuff. I'd probably say you're not going to be straight upgrading the basic stuff. Yeah, that's a good point. Most weapons are really simple. Yeah, the lance, SNS, longsword, dual blades. You generally want to find elemental versions of those. Or status. Because you need that extra damage in there. Just because your pokes and your lighter slashes are not going to deal as much damage. As opposed to hammer and greatsword, which work great off raw damage. Yeah, so Clobber, the only thing I'd recommend with the hammer is just learning how to position the hammer correctly. Like getting the head is usually where you go with the hammer and the hunting horn. I don't remember longsword being that broken in 3U. I don't remember any weapon being that broken in 3U. Charge blade was definitely broken in 4U. Insect glaive was definitely broken for you. I don't remember. I remember Gunlance being a DPS machine in 3U, especially compared to 4U and Generations. That's actually, Clobber, one of the reasons I recommend the hammer as a starter weapon for people, is because it teaches you how to position yourself. Teaches you timing, too. I'm not trying to backseat. I'm trying to give advice from years of learning this game that is very hard to get, like, good tips on. Like, it really is. Like, there's a reason why the Monster Hunter community is a really good community, because everyone's been horribly mistreated by this game at some point, and everyone's had to learn the game. So, like, Monster Hunter is one of those games where it's like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, where you learn as a player how to play the game. It's not like Grim Dawn, where it's like you can equip the best gear and suddenly you're great at the game. It's one of the reasons I love Monster Hunter. Yeah, we could be wrong. Well, I mean, for Hammer though, it's always gonna be the same. Like, just based off of that video I linked, it's like it looks exactly the same, and it's like it's gonna be a good teaching weapon still. Monster Hunter Survivors Counseling Group. Tell me on the doll where the Rathlos hit you. I also recommend SNS, because it is very beginner friendly with how quick it is and how easy it is to just use. That's the easy to pick up, difficult to master weapon. Because SNS, it does take a lot of finesse to get it working correctly. The Rathlos touched me in all places. I think it's going to be, like, given that a lot of people are going to be getting into the game here, it's going to be a lot of fun. Especially when it comes on a PC. Because I know Clobber's getting into it, and I have a friend who's never played Monster Hunter before, and I showed him that demo footage, and he actually was like, yeah, I'd really like to play this version of the game. Yeah, tell me where Plesioth's hip check hit you. Well, I got hit by the area underneath him in my everything. It hit me in my pride with the area behind the hip. Hit me with and very, very wounded my pride. Just absolutely gone. Has there been a monster that eats hunters like that? So you got frenzied Parthenox? It made your mind hurt so bad your body exploded. Yeah, the drop in, drop out co-op's gonna be pretty cool too. So is hot swapping weapons in the field. Because I've had so many hunts where I'm like, oh, I'll charge blade this guy. Or, oh, I'll grab my gun lance. And then it turns out to be completely not working. And I'm like, well, I'm stuck with this now. This is my life now. If I had just picked SNS for this hunt, we'd be done already. One of the funniest things with Plesioth was I was watching a video. It was like Iceman Noob or Teamwork Cast or something. When I think it was Generations. I think it was Generations came out because Plesioth's in that game when it was Monster Hunter Cross, and in Japan, and one of the people was standing behind the Plesioth and it did a hip check, and I flinched watching it. Like I actually was like, oh crap, he's up. Oh, he didn't get hit. Well, at least they fixed that. Yeah, I haven't... Like, he still posts stuff. I think he's doing, like, a Let's Play of Double Cross or something. Like, he still posts videos on a almost daily basis. It's just nobody watches them anymore. He's basically at the state I'm at with YouTube. Where he posts clipped up Let's Plays and nobody watches them. I'll have to look to see if any weapon trees are released. Because we're not, like... I want to say we're like a year out, but really, we're coming up on September, and that's month number 9 of the year, so we're almost done with 2017. That's Plesioth PTSD. I was watching it. I legitimately went like, huh? And it missed. He was fine. Even though I was a little shocked by it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clip up this live stream now. Yeah, when... Like, I've watched videos of, the older Monster Hunters, the pre-try Monster Hunters, and I can never play them. Like, I don't want to play the hitboxes. I want to play the monster. It does like a victory spin afterwards on top of your corpse. Just sitting there spinning around. Yeah, Pon, that just happens now. Like, that happens in Generations where your cat is just sitting there playing a healing horn while you're lying there dead. The camera slowly rotating above your dead, deceased corpse. I call that a trip to band camp. I did that back in May. I think I spent something like $70 on a bunch of stuff. Like, it was enough that I am forcing myself not to even look at Bandcamp. I haven't listened to Hammerfall in ages. I can never get into them. Like, even though I like power metal, I can never get into Hammerfall. What are the other bands, Clever Frog? That's funny, Parthenox. See, for me with power metal, I always think of that. That live show that Blind Guardian did. That's like a famous video where they were doing Valhalla, and the crowd just kept singing the song when it was over. Oh, and yo, people hate Plesioth. Holy crap, the people hate Plesioth. I know Equilibrium. I think I listened to some of their stuff. Not a lot, but that name does sound familiar. The only thing I know that Blind Guardian did was they did, well, the song Battlefield. They didn't do it for this. Ended up on that game Robot Unicorn Rainbow Attack or whatever. Rainbow Unicorn Robot Attack, whatever it was. That Adult Swim game. That's one of their good songs. Battlefield. I fucking love Endless Space too. I may be the only person here that loves Endless Space too. I recommend Endless Space 2 as a pickup. It does, like, Endless Space, it is going to need maybe an X pack or two, but you can get it now and still play the game. It's really, like, easy to game the system to win right now. It does kind of remind me of Endless Legend when it didn't have that many X packs. But it's definitely worth it. Even if you're remotely into it. Yeah, I know it's not a fun game to watch unless you're, like, really into that type of game. I'm not even really into that type of game, and I just like the game itself. It wasn't that much. I think I put as much into Dark Souls as I did into Dark Souls and Bloodborne as I did into Endless Space 2. Kel'Thuzad, he's fine. I thought the animation wasn't bad. I'm more interested, though, in the skins for the characters. I think it's Deathbringer Sonya? Not the Death Knight one, not the one with the axes, the one with the sword. Looks awesome! And I want to get the Jaina skin just to have that dance. Yeah, I only vaguely remember Kel'Thuzad from Warcraft 3, though. I obviously never played WoW. But, so far, so someone on, I think, 4chan, maybe, was like, here are the next 8 characters. And so far, they've been right on 3 of them. The last 3 reveals were the first 3 on their list. So I think next is going to be, they said I think it was Maeve from Warcraft. Yeah, they gave. I think Blizzard gave into a meme with that one. And I think Anna was the one listed after that, but they did list a bunch of characters from as a prediction as who's going to come out. Mm-hmm. That's what I think it is too, Parthenox. And there's some people complaining about the dance it has. Yeah, Mieve. She's a warden, I think. Is that her class? I'd have to go, like, you can find it on Reddit. You can probably just Google it. But yeah, it was a list of 8 heroes that are presumably going to be next. 3 of them were accurate so far. It's like someone did a, I think again on 4chan, a leak for Overwatch as to what was going to come next, and they were like, it's going to be Ankora. They were like, Doomfist is going to be a black dude. Oh, and May's getting the next animated short. And 3 for 3 on that. It would be Googling, like, 8 Heroes of the Storm, next 8 heroes prediction would probably bring it up. Maeve Shadow Song. Yeah. We knew what we were talking about, Parthenox. She's the predicted next from this big list. I think Anna was on the list. Junkrat, I think? It was a mix of everything. Because I think the warrior from Diablo 1 / the Dark Wanderer was on the list. Aiden, I think his name is. See, I don't remember her at all from Warcraft 3. I remember the big ones. I remember Malfurion, Illidan, and Tyrande. I remember Thrall and Grom Hellscream, I think it was. And Arthas being a punk ass bitch, because that's what Arthas is. Gromosh? Because I know it's Garrosh was his son, right? You might have combined the names there, Parthenox. I remember playing that game and being blown away at how great that game looked. I was like, oh man, they're doing in-game models for their cinematics to tell the story. And I was like, wow, this looks amazing. And I looked at screenshots recently because I'm getting I'm getting heroes, and I was like rereading lore and stuff from Warcraft just to refresh my memory on some of these characters. And it's like, oh, it is Gromosh? I thought it was just Grom. Anyway, I was looking up wiki articles basically for some of these characters to learn who they were, get refreshed on what they did, and I saw like screenshots from Warcraft 3. I'm like, I can't believe that looked good. Hell, I'm probably gonna look back on the videos where I have my hair in like the Jon Snow thing, and I'm like, man, I can't believe I thought that looked good. That season finale happens on Sunday. I have an idea on where it's going to go, but I hope I'm wrong on it. I'm probably wrong on it. It's like Game of Thrones up through season 5 was all book material, and I'd read the books beforehand. So it was like, it's fun to watch people react to certain things, but after that it's like I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't remember it at all. I really don't. Yeah, this is the first half. Technically the first half of the last season. They split it into 2. One, to make more money off it. But also, what they can do now, because they split it into 2, is they have the budget for 2 separate seasons, even though they're both only like 7 episodes each. So there's going to be... The last season is technically going to be probably in 2018. Oh, I won't spoil about how everybody's dead now. Everybody's just dead. Yeah, see, Breaking Bad did it. Like, I think that was the first show I've seen, that anyone's seen, that's broken up their last season so they can tease it out. And then I think Mad Men did it. Maybe The Sopranos did it too before that. But yeah, a lot of the is it AMC did that for their shows, their big ones. And then to me it doesn't make sense for those shows to do it. For Game of Thrones to say, "Oh, we're doing it because 1, we only have 1 season left, and 2, we can take this high fantasy, like high budget." I guess it is high fantasy now, because there are things happening that are kind of magic-y. But anyways, this like high budget fantasy drama show, and we can have a bigger budget by splitting it into 2 seasons. It actually kind of makes sense. And after this season, I can understand where that budget went. Whew. When you have things happen and you're like, I don't know if that's CG or not. You know you have, like, a good budget going on. And I would recommend it, Parthenox. It's not the greatest show ever. It has some dumb moments in it, but overall it's worth it. I'd say the only problem between the books and the show is in the books you can kind of speed read through the chapters focused on the characters you don't like. And the show, you can't really speed through any parts of it like that. It's definitely worth one watch through. I'm probably going to watch through it again next year before the last season starts. And I would say it's, for me personally, it's like there's some characters where I'm like, oh god, this guy. And you have to wait for the whole scene to finish, and then you get back to the characters you like. For the record, everyone, I like the stuff that happens in the north and on the wall. Sometimes things in King's Landing. Sand snakes, I'm glad they're gone. That's kind of a spoiler, but I said gone. I didn't elaborate. God, I'm still pissed off about that in season 6. That one fight scene that was horrible. Yeah, all the budget went into that. Went into the character opening his eyes. All the budget went into his hair getting combed back like this. Because his hair, he went from having his hair everywhere to having it combed back. Wow, we made it to the 3-hour mark. Actually, Parthenox, that happened in the book. So that wasn't like the actor holding out for more money. Well, the aging cream for you-know-who. Which one? Oh, I get the joke. I was like, there's an old joke in here. Who's old on the cat? Oh, right. That thing. That thing he got with the ruby. Now, if you're gonna watch a Parthenox, we don't want to spoil anything for you. But Heliocop, am I talking about the right character for what you're talking about? The red one, where you have that one scene. Yeah, we're talking about Voldemort, actually. Okay. I thought you were talking about that. I thought you were making a joke about Cersei or something just getting old. But then I was like, oh, right, there is that in that show. When Voldemort is an absolute boner killer. Yeah, I should probably let you guys go. It was fun to talk about Monhunt and stuff. I do recommend Hellblade for people that like story-driven games. If you're more like me and you like games where if you get into it and you want to look for the story, you can get it. Like your Bloodborns, Grim Dawns, Dark Souls, Metroids. He has a really petite nose. His lips are a little thin, though. That's kind of a turnoff. Though he does have really well manicured long fingernails. And he seems like kind of a freak. Have you ever seen Ray Fiennes in the costume, but before they digitally take the nose out? Where it's him in like the full makeup and he has like his big old nose in the middle. I actually haven't looked that close at Voldemort's fingernails. I just know some people find longer fingernails attractive. I guess I do to an extent. Which is why I brought it up. But yeah, the costume with the nose, like him in the makeup with the nose on, looks really funny to me. There's actually a GIF of, I think it's Helena Bonham Carter, like walking in front of the director and Voldemort has the nose, and she's going like walking by them, and it's like really surreal to have like the set and there's some green screen, Voldemort getting advice from a director with the nose while she's doing a talkie gesture walking by him. It's very, very funny and very, very weird. I think it was Ray Fiennes, or was it Ralph Fiennes? I can never remember which one's which. One was on American Horror Story for a couple seasons. No, one season. And he's in Handmaid's Tale right now. and the other was in Grand Budapest Hotel. And I can never remember which one's which. Ralph. Okay. They have R names that are RA names. It's about as bad as the Sheens. All the Sheens blend together for me. For me, it's more like there's the one that was in Twilight. There's the one that's in the West Wing. There. That's quite the link, Parthenox. Wow, that's not what I was talking about, but there you go. Yeah, so I think we're gonna call the stream now. We've hit the 30-minute mark. So thanks for the conversation, everyone. If you're into story games, check out Hellblade. Senua Sacrifice. It's really beautiful. Puzzles are a little okay so far. Combat's not bad. Let me just check real quick to confirm Parthenox. No. Oh, yeah, there we go. The lower ones. Just him with his nose on. It looks so bizarre to me. Yeah. That's what I meant. With the human nose, not the snake nose. So I will be back on Monday with a game. I don't know what. And I'll try to make it a longer stream. And I might bring a snack or something to show off. To make up for the shorter gaming stream tonight. Even though we hit our normal duration with the talking. You know I didn't mean to. Thank you for coming, Parthenox, and Heliocop, and Pon3, and Clobber, and Yukari. I think that was the audience tonight. Come back on for you. I don't know about that one. Only because I don't know where the game is right now. I have Generations in there. I have cases for my 3DS games on top of my bookshelf. I don't know if it's actually in there. But we'll have something. I don't know exactly what. It might be something weird. It might be something normal. Because like I said, I'm going to start Dark Souls 3 on New Game Plus 2 as the official, I'm putting this on YouTube playthrough. I kind of want to start, I'm going to do it over the weekend. I'm going to start in the Hyper Universe and see if it's going to be worth streaming at all. It's a MOBA. It's a side-scrolling MOBA. So it's kind of unique. Otherwise, I don't know what I'll pick up. We'll have to wait and see. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this stream. And I will see you guys Monday for the next one.